good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on which part of the world you are now in, because we have 3 time zones here. And this session, which I'm going to take over, will be the most basic one. But at the same time, it is very, very super important to do this, because any data for the matter needs to be first visually, inspected to understand and interpret the advanced outcomes. So let me just share my screen with you. And you can let me know when you see this. Do you see my screen?
Yeah, I can see it now.
Yeah, thank you. So yes, before we start, I just wanted to start it from the beginning. So when you start it, you will have an icon to start BESA Research, which when you click start, it should first show you which version it is coming from. So just ensure that you have the latest version which has been released. So just give it a moment. It is loading. So here we are. So it says January 7.1.3, January 2024. So we have the latest version. So if you don't have the latest version, you may start getting the latest version and then work with it. So accept it. Yes. So the first thing what I wanted to share is that with BESA, you have very excellent support, in the sense that we have BESA Wiki, which contains a lot many informations regarding questions, troubleshooting, support, everything is there. So here, if you just, you need to just Google BESA and Wiki, and then you're going to get this BESA Wiki. There you have this file formats. You have innumerable types of files. Almost all major file formats are supported with BESA. However, just you can see this EEG supported formats. You have many supported formats. And as well as MEG data is also supported. You can go through that. And just in case, if you find some difficulty loading your data, you can reach out to us. We have a very strong supportive team, by the way. So let me just start the BESA program, BESA Research. You need to go to File, Open. Normally, as Harald mentioned, you have this examples folder, which is located here. Inside users, inside C drive, users, public documents, BESA, here, you see here. So you need to go to this installations, which are pre-installed along with the software. In the examples folder, you have many different types of EEGs available with which you can practice. And down you have folders, files of type section. Depending on the manufacturer of the EEG system that you have acquired the data, you need to choose the file format. Certain formats are in the format of .EEG. The NATUS systems are all of this format. NATUS. It should be either in the .EEG or EDF, etc. format. So depending on the format, you need to choose. But for our case, where I'm going to demonstrate the data set, which Harald mentioned some time back about the auditory recordings which has been recorded, I'm going to use ERP data, with which we have a .CNT continuous file, and I'm going to do it with the auditory intensity. You can see here. Please do let me know if I'm going too fast, or if I'm too slow also. At the same time, we can accommodate it. So ERP auditory intensity is the folder inside which you should have S1 and S2.CNT. So in order to see this .CNT is the reason why Harald wanted you to show this extension based on Windows 10 or 11, so that you can see these extensions. So now we have S1 and S2. we will first open .cnt of S1 file. All you need to do is double click the file. So yes, I have done something on this. I'm going to correct this. Yeah, now you have the real data. Here we are. So you can see that first, this is on the right side, you can see that it is having 31 electrodes on the scalp over here. So first we need to see what is this montage. This is being shown. For that, you can see on the left upper corner, this is in the original recording montage. So all this REC is the montage section where you can see these details, original recording. So this is a 31 channel scalp EEG, which is referenced to CZ. So that is why you see this CZ line at the bottom flat, because CZ is the reference and each channel is referenced to CZ. So yes, in order to see the electrode configuration of this, we need to see how the electrodes are overlaid. For that, all you need to do is go to File, go to Head Surface Points and Sensors, and View. V is the key for that. So you can either press here or you can just press V on your keyboard, and it should show you the electrode configurations based on the head coordinate system. Now, all these red discs are the electrodes which has been placed for the subject. So if I click an electrode disc, the corresponding channel should be highlighted on the EEG trace which you see behind in the background. So next is I wanted to these cubicles, purple cubicles which you see here, which when clicked turns into blue. Typically are the fiducial points. There should be three fiducial points. One is the Nacian, which comes, I'm just going to be too basic because I know many of the participants are first time users and there are many participants who haven't even touched BESA Research, but they have purchased and they are going to start. That's why this could be a very useful training if you want to follow it accurately. Yeah. So we have this Nacian, which is a fiducial point, and two preauricular points are the fiducial points. So when I click here, you get this electrode location as a fiducial. Here you can see fiducial Nacian, FID Nacian, and their electrode coordinates are shown below. This is based on the head coordinate system, in which the x-axis, you see this x-axis going there. X-axis is going from the left ear towards the right ear direction. And y-axis, you see here, the green one, y-axis goes from back side of the head towards front side through the Nacian. And the vertical z-axis, which you see here, goes along the intersection of the x and y vertically from the bottom to the upward direction. So these are the electrode configurations which has been placed. And let me just close this. Okay, again, one more point I wanted to show you. So now this is based on the head coordinate system. Suppose you already have digitized electrode configuration system, you can make use of that, and then you can co-register, which is a topic which is going to come, and then most probably I might be taking that session as well. So wherein you can co-register all these electrodes onto the subject's or patient's head, and then we will be using that head coordinate system. Let me get back to the traces. So here we have lines which are in either blue color or red color or black colors. So the blue colored ones are all the left hemispheric electrodes, channels, and the red ones are all coming over the right hemisphere. For those who are not used to this, maybe you can think red, R for red and R for right, my sister. That's how I remembered it in the beginning. Okay, so right is red, and you also have the black ones, which comes over the midline. The vertex electrodes, which comes FPZ, FZ, CZ, PZ, OZ, etc. So this is the main the main system of electrode colors which you see. Next, what I wanted to show is that again, one more I wanted to show, which is again, I press V on the keyboard and you see the electrode clouds. So here, let me press yes on the keyboard, which shows that all these electrodes are overlaid on a spherical coordinate system. You see the spherical. So if you have a digitized, as I mentioned earlier, a digitized file which has all the locations, then you may use that, and accordingly those can be overlaid onto the individual subject's head. Next, we go into the, again, one more point. As I told you, when you want to use the individual subjects digitized points, you can go to this file. You can use head surface points and sensors, and here load coordinate files, or you can also press Control and plus L. There you have this digitized head surface points. When you have those files, all you need to do is just browse to that file, load that file, and that digitized coordinates would be taken over. And you may also load the co-registered file when you do that. So I think maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow, we will start this. Now, let me first explain how to navigate with this. So on the bottom left side, you have the navigation buttons. The left arrow takes you, the whole left arrow takes you one page to the left. The whole right arrow takes you one page to the right. And this half pages will take you half a page to the left and half a page to the right accordingly. And these vertical bars which you see are all triggers, especially in this case, as Harald already mentioned. Triggers, sound, auditory clicks were given on different with the different decibels as an auditory experiment, giving from 60 decibel, 70 decibel, 80 decibel, 90 decibel, and 100 decibel of clicks. And each decibel had a trigger code, depending upon what is the intensity of the given stimuli. So for each trigger, you have one code, and all these vertical bars at the bottom, what you see here, they're all the triggers which has been already given to the subjects. This is only one subject as well. Yeah, subject one. And this 2, 5, 4, all these triggers which you see are the names which has been given. On the bottom, you see the total time, 1602 here. This is the total time of the duration of the recording. So depending on the length of your file, some files, especially long-term EEG monitoring for epilepsy surgery, I've seen, recordings that goes up to 24 hours also, and more also. We can concatenate and have a very long file as well, and shorter files also. And yes, and regarding the filters, okay, let me just remove this, make it the standard one. So typically when you start it from the basics, so this would be the what you call frequency filters which are available. And next, what I wanted to show you was on the right side panel, you have this time base, which is 10 seconds per page. So normally, if it is if you are a clinical person, you might want 30 millimeter per second, which is calibrated and which the clinicians have been using for quite a long time. So in that case, all you need to do is take a tape and adjust it according. You can just adjust these values here You can change the values from 10 to 20 depending on your screen size, so that you're comfortably seeing or viewing the data. So for this case, I'm just taking it back to 10 seconds per page. Next, on the right side, you have this SCP over here, 31, which is the scalp, which means that this data has both scalp electrode as well as PGR, which is polygraphic electrodes. So scalp electrodes, as the name suggests, are all the electrodes which has been kept over the scalp and recorded. And PGR is the polygraphic recording. So when I click on PGR, I can see the PGR channel, which is EOG electrooculogram. So there is a channel in which has been the electrooculogram eye movement has been recorded with a polygraphic channel. So depending on what you click here on the right upper portion, if you click all, you get to see all the EEG channels along with the EOG, which you can see here. Or if you can, or if you want to see only the scalp channels, you can click on the scalp and you will see only the scalp. If you want to see the polygraphic, you can see polygraphic. In some data, you might also see the recordings with which MEG is recorded, and more than one kind of polygraphic can also be recorded and viewed. So on the right section, just below the scalp electrode, you can see this sensitivity button, 50 microvolt. When you click that, you can change the sensitivity of the recording. If you move this, you can also move this bar up or down, and you can get this changed accordingly. I'm just going to the 50 microvolt, which seems good, so that there's no too much of overlap between the adjacent channels, electrodes. I'm going to close this. So here you can see this vertical bar in between this SCP button and the 50 microvolt button, which shows you how much this distance is equivalent to 50 microvolt, excuse me, sorry. And similarly, you can also change the intensity by changing of the polygraphic channel by changing this value 200 microvolts over here. Now you can check this channel EOG over here on the left hand side. As I increase it, you can see that that channel alone gets increased. Now let me get back to its original value. Okay, press close. As for navigation, as I mentioned, you can also use the space bar to navigate. When you click on the space bar, it goes one page to the right. And you can also use the left or right keyboard arrows to move, to navigate towards the right or towards the left. Now, why do we do all these things? Because we wanted to first inspect the data quality. Using these mentioned tools, you will be able to really inspect the whole data quickly and then, understand what is the quality of the data, whether there is too much of eye blink artifacts, whether there is too much of EKG artifacts, ECG artifacts, EKG artifacts, depending on where you are. And you also have the, some kinds of muscle artifacts, electrode pop-ups, and then, doing this basic review will help you really understand the outcome of or interpret the output of the processing. Just let me know if you have any more queries on this, whatever we have explained now. Let me go more forward. You can, as we said about the navigation, you can also go directly to certain points just by clicking anywhere on this vertical tab. It just takes you to the program, just takes you to that required locations. Again, you can get back to the original position by clicking here. Next, you can go to certain points or triggers. All you need to do is use this go to button. The third from the last in the upper section, third in the go to menu. There you have many many choices. You can either go to next segment, next tag, next markers, all these you can use, or you can use this event log, go to event log. There is no event marked for this. Normally, when it is recorded, that the technician, if it is being recorded by a technician, he or she might enter certain comments there. So there you will get certain comments, and then you can go to that point directly if you have those comments already there. Or you can also use the time. If you wanted to go to certain time positions in the data, you can directly go there. Just all you need to do is enter the time that you wanted to go, and then it is going to take you there.